Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now the next theorem that we are about to do is theorem 12.1.4. The statement of the theorem is that any point, here also we are talking about a point which is on the bisector of an angle. Now what do you mean by the bisector of an angle? Bisector of an angle is any line which divides an angle into two equal half. For example, if this is the angle 60, okay, now if I draw a line which divides this gap into two equal half, means that this angle and this angle remains the same. For example, this is also 30 and this is also 30, then it means that this line is dividing this angle into two equal halves. Such line is called bisector of the angle of 60. Okay, so it is any line which passes through the angle such that it divides this angle into two equal half. Okay, 30 plus 30, both these make the angle of 60. Then we say that this line is the angle bisector or the bisector of this angle. Okay, so we are talking about that any point. So if we are taking a point P, so any point on the bisector of the angle, we are taking a point P on this bisector, and we need to prove that this point is always equidistant from the arms. These are the arms. Okay, if I name this angle as A O B, then OA and OB, okay, these are the arms of the of the angle. Okay, this is the bisector of the angle, and the point that we are talking about is on the bisector of the angle. Now we need to prove that the distance of this point from the arm, distance of point P from the arms, from this arm, from OA and from OB will be the same. Okay, always remember that distance of a point from a line of a point from a line is always taken as the perpendicular one. Okay, for example, if you have a point P and this is a line AB, okay, this is line AB. Now the distance of this point from this line can be taken in many ways. For example, this is also distance of point from this line, because this line will have infinite many points. Okay, but the distance that we consider, we usually take the distance of the perpendicular one. Okay, the distance of this point P from the line AB such that this distance, this line is perpendicular to AB, then we take this distance. Okay, normally we take this distance so that it's unique, it is the same for every person. Otherwise any person could take a distance of its own choice, and this could have been this could have been given the different answers. Okay, so to get a unique value or the same value for all of us, we always take the perpendicular distance. Okay, this distance perpendicular, and this will be the same for everyone. Okay, therefore we don't take these distances. Okay, we take the perpendicular for its uniqueness, so that there is a the same answer for everyone. So here also we are going to take the perpendicular distance. We are going to drop a perpendicular from P on this OA, and similarly we are going to drop a perpendicular from this point on the line OB, and here we need to prove that this distance is the same as this distance. Okay, so this is all we need to prove. We are going to take a point on the bisector of the line, on this line, and we have to prove that this point is equidistant from its arms. These are the arms OA and OB, and we will prove that this point is equidistant from OA and OB. That is, we need to prove that this distance will be the same as this distance. In this theorem we are going to use the postulate SAA postulate. Okay, can very easily be proved with the help of SAA postulate. So let's start the proof. Let me draw the figure first. We have an angle. Okay, let's take any angle A, O and B. Okay, this is the angle given to us. Okay, and let's draw its bisector. Bisector means the line which will pass in the middle of this gap. Okay, this is the bisector. As it is the angle bisector, let OM be the angle bisector. As it is the angle bisector, therefore this angle will be congruent to this one. Okay, this angle will be congruent to this angle. Now this is one half of the angle and this is the other half, because this line is just passing in the middle of the this gap. Okay, so we are given also let me write the given first, I think. Okay, we are given that we have a point on OM, the bisector of angle AOB. Okay, what we are given? We are given angle AOB. Okay, angle AOB, and let me take the point P. P is any point on this bisector. Okay, P represent any point on the line by P is a point on the bisector OM. OM is the bisector of angle AOB. Okay, so we have taken P as any point on the bisector of this angle AOB. What we need to prove is that the distance of P from OA and OB will be the same. Okay, let me drop a perpendicular on here, and this we are going to do in construction. Okay, this is the construction. I will write it here. To prove that P is equidistant from the arms OA and OB. Okay, and in construction what we are going to do, in construction, drop perpendiculars. Perpendicular, okay, this is a symbol of perpendicular from point P to OA and OB. It means we will have this angle. Let me name this Q, and this will be point R. Okay, point Q and R. This will be point Q and this will be point R. So we need to prove that these two are also congruent. Okay, this is what we need to prove. So angle OQP will be same as angle ORP, and both are going to be perpendicular, because whenever we take the distance of a point from a line, it is always the perpendicular one. Okay, do you remember that? This is the perpendicular we need to drop on. So this is also 90 degrees, this angle, and this angle is also 90 degrees. Now here remember that as this is the bisector, OM is the bisector, so it means this angle will be congruent to this angle. Okay, and the angle 90 is also same in these two triangles. We will consider these two triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2. We are going to take the correspondence between them, and with the help of SAA postulate, we will prove them congruent, and from there we will get the direct result that PR is congruent to PQ, which will prove this statement. Okay, so let's start the theorem, the proof of the theorem. We have statements and we have reasons here. Now we will take the correspondence of triangle POQ. Triangle POQ corresponds to triangle POR. Now in this triangle we have one side, we are taking these two triangles, and one side, this OP is congruent to OP. Okay, this is the common side of these two triangles. Also this angle is congruent to this angle, and this angle is congruent to this angle. So we have two angles and a side which is not their included side. Okay, two angles and the side which is not the included side of these two. So with the help of SAA postulate, we can easily prove that these two triangles are congruent. We will take OP and these two angles, the 90, this is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this, because it was the angle bisector dividing these into this angle into two equal parts. Okay, so here we are going to take the side first. OP is congruent to OP. This is the common side of both the triangle. Okay, also angle ROP, sorry, let me write, because we are taking POQ here, so I'm going to write the angle of this triangle first. Angle QOP is congruent to angle ROP. This is because OM is the bisector of angle AOB. As it is the bisector, it will divide this angle into two equal half. It means this half will be equal to this. So angle QOP will be congruent to angle ROP. Also angle OQP is congruent to angle ORP. Both are equal to 90 degrees from here. Okay, this we have done this in construction, because the distance of P from the lines is always taken as the perpendicular one. So here we have one side and two angles. One side and two angles of these triangles are equal to the one side and the corresponding side and corresponding angles of this triangle. Therefore the triangles are congruent according to SAA postulate. Triangle POQ is congruent to triangle POR. This is SAA postulate. Okay, now if these two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding sides are always congruent. So corresponding to PQ, here we have the side PR. Okay, it means PQ is congruent to PR. And what is PQ? It was the distance of P from the arm OA, and PR was the distance of P from the arm OB. Okay, so we have proved the theorem that this P will be equidistant from both the arms. PQ is congruent to PR, means distance of P from OM is PQ. It is congruent to PR, which is the distance of P from OB. So it means this point is equidistant from these two arms, corresponding sides of congruent triangles, and this proves the theorem. Okay, this is what we needed to prove, that this point P, distance of P from OA is equal to distance of P from OB, and this completes the proof. Now let's do the questions from the exercises which is included in the syllabus. We have done theorem 12.1.4. Now we are going to the review exercise. Now in the review exercises, question number 2 is very easy. You can easily attempt this because it's also same as question 6 almost. So I'm going to do question number 4, 5 and 6, and you can try question 1 and 2 then, because they are going to be easy for you after doing this. So question number 4, let's start with question number 4. They have given us a figure A, B, C, and there are unknowns x degree, y degree and z degree. We have to find these three angles. The question is, if the given triangle ABC is equilateral triangle. Now equilateral triangle, what do you mean by equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle is the triangle whose all sides are equal, and from the properties of equilateral triangle we also know that each angle of an equilateral triangle is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, and AD is the bisector of angle A. AD is the bisector of this angle A. It means AD is dividing this angle A into two equal halves. The halves are x degree and y degree. It means that x and y are going to be the same angles, because AD is the bisector. Then find the values of the unknown x degree, y degree and z degree. Let me draw the figure. Question number 4. Review exercise 12. Okay, we are given the triangle ABC, and this AD is the is the bisector of angle A. Okay, bisector means it is dividing this angle into two equal halves. They have named the halves as x degree and y degree. It means that x degree will be equal to y degree because AD is the bisector of this angle, and bisector means it will always divide this angle into two equal half. Also, this is angle Z. Okay, the solution is so simple. As it is an equilateral triangle, we know that each angle of an equilateral triangle is equal to 60 degrees. This means that this is 60, this angle is also 60, and this whole angle will also be 60. Okay, all these angles are 60 degrees. It means that angle Z is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, from this also we know that angle A is equal to 60 degrees, but angle A is equal to x degrees plus y degree is equal to 60, and x and y are same. So two numbers whose sum is 60 and which are equal to one another are 30 and 30. Obviously x degree will be equal to 30 as well as y will also be equal to 30, because they both should sum up to 60, and also they must be equal to one another. Therefore, so the only numbers that we have are 30 and 30. So this solves this question. Now let's move to the next question. The next question, again you are given a figure and you have to find the unknowns. Okay, in question number 5 you are given a triangle L, M and N, and here you have, this is 90 degrees, this is a point O, this is 12, it's given to be 18, this is 2x plus 6, and this is M. Okay, so you are given this figure and it is given that triangle LMO is congruent to triangle LNO. Now we have to find the unknown x and m. We have to find x and m. Now as these two triangles are congruent, it means LM will be congruent to LN. Okay, LM and LN are going to be congruent to one another, because it is given that these two triangles are congruent. Now in some books it is missing, the 18 over here is not written, so do write it. It is a printing mistake. So write 18, LN is equal to 18. Okay, now as these two triangles are congruent, this implies that LM is congruent to LN, because they are the corresponding sides of these two triangles. Also LM is congruent, is equal to 2x plus 6 according to this statement, and LN is equal to 18. So from here we can easily find the value of x. 18 minus 6, it will be 12, and x will be equal to 12 divided by 2, 6. So this will be equal to 6. Also as the two triangles are congruent, this means that MO will be congruent to MO is congruent to NO, but NO or ON, this is equal to 12. Therefore MO, which is equal to NO, will also be 12. Okay, so it means that the value of M is equal to 12 and the value of X is equal to 6. So this is the answer of this question. Now in the next question we are given that this completes the question. Now let's move to the solution of the next question number 6. Now question number 6 is that CD is the right bisector of the line segment AB. Okay, you have the line segment AB. Okay, you have line segment AB and CD. This is CD, which is the line bisector of the line AB. Okay, line bisector means it is dividing this line into two equal halves. So if I take this point as O, then OA will be congruent to OB. And what else they are saying? They have drawn this line BD. Okay, now CD is the right bisector of this line. Also in the first part they are given that measurement of AB is equal to 6 centimeter, and you have to find AL and LB. Okay, you have to find this is the point L. Okay, and measurement of AB is 6 centimeter, and you have to find AL and LB. Now we know that CD is the bisector, so it means this will divide this whole line into two equal half. Okay, it means L will be the midpoint of AB. Now AB is 6. If AB is equal to 6 centimeter, then AL, we know that it is half of AB, so it will be half of 6, which is equal to 3 centimeter. And similarly LB will also be equal to 3 centimeter, being half of the line AB. Now the second part is that if BD is equal to 4 centimeter, BD is given to be 4 centimeter. Okay, here, and you have to find AD. What is AD? Now as D is a point on the right bisector, therefore it will be equidistant from both the end points. Or we can also find this by simply we know that D is a point on this on the right bisector, it is dividing it into two equal half. Therefore, because it's a right bisector, okay, they have given us that it is a right bisector, so it's simple. D is a point on the right bisector. So according to the first theorem that we did in this chapter, according to theorem 12.1.1, AD must be equal to BD, because any point on the right bisector of the line is always equidistant from the endpoints. These are the endpoints and this is the right bisector. D must be equal, DB must be equal to DA. It means that AD is also equal to 4. Okay, they have given us that BD is equal to 4. If BD is equal to 4, then AD being equal to BD will be equal to 4. And this completes the solution of this question and chapter 12 also.